me. This is a different setup for us, kind of having it like this tonight. But I am just tired. I'm a little cold tonight. I'm a little in pain tonight. All kind of the things. And I figured out I have to get work on this blanket. So I'm just chilling, relaxing. Remember, the point of all this is that you...
Introducing Business Essentials from U.S. Bank with no monthly maintenance fee checking and card payment processing. New Pineapple Paradise Olipop. Hunt for all 5 cans. Don't let your vacation rental and its pool be invisible. Get seen, get booked on Booking.com. Processing. New Pineapple Paradise.
Can you all hear me now? I have no idea what happened. None whatsoever. Can you all hear me? Put a 1 in the chat if you all can hear me. I have no idea what happened there. None whatsoever. But thank you. Let me know if you can hear me because hi Josie Ann, how are you doing? Hi Sandy. Let me know if you can hear me or no. Okay, 1, you guys can hear me for sure? Okay. I don't know what happened with that. Anyway, I just am not having a total... I'm in a little bit of pain today. I have not been able to get warm all day, so I'm dealing with that. And I thought, you know what? I'll just figure out how to do one of these so you can see the crochet. I didn't feel like getting out the rocking chair and doing all that stuff. So, and this is comfortable right now for me, so I'm going to be in a position that's comfortable and that doesn't hurt, which is not something that I can do very easily, but we'll figure it out, right? So hopefully everybody's doing well. We're still collecting for the boxes. And just so everybody knows, I've kind of gotten off track a little bit with everything. I'm going to wait. I'm going to do the recaps for whatever week kind of came together this week. And then I think it was last week, they were kind of sporadic, the shout outs. So what I'm going to do is go back and redo those again next week, starting fresh, and get it all back on track. There's just been some stuff going on behind the scenes a little bit. We got our computer, hi Indigo, we got our computer, hi Jeanette, we got our computer back up and running, thankfully. My son-in-law gave us the little thing that he was supposed to give us so that we could get it fixed. So we did get the computer, the main computer, back up and running. Yay. So that's back up. But now everything has to be reloaded back into it. And I just am not up to it. So in the coming weeks, I'll be able to tell y'all a lot more. Nothing major stuff is going on. It's just a lot of stuff. And I think I've been probably dealing with a little bit of depression, and yeah, I found out my friend passed away and all that kind of stuff. And it's just kind of, I'm trying to get through it. I get to the computer, trying to work on the computer and work on stuff, and it's just not happening. I have gone back several times to the computer to do stuff. I did load up the turkey recipe, if you all haven't had a chance to see that. I did load up the turkey recipe. It's a short. Go give it a watch. I'm telling you guys, it's so simple. It is so easy, and it was so delicious. And Josh does not like, he doesn't like gravy, but he loved this gravy. So, y'all have got to give it a try. It's really easy, whether you do it in the Instapot or the crock pot. Don't want to do that. It's really good. So I gotta change the thumbnail, otherwise it won't put the right thumbnail up. So I will put that recipe in the chat if y'all haven't checked it out. It is simple, it is easy, and Thanksgiving does not have to be just in November. I will have that again because it was really good. It was really simple. If y'all haven't checked it out, go give it a check. I will put it in the chat. It was really simple. It was really easy to do, and I was gonna come live last night, and last night I got bogged down with the short for the turkey recipe, and I had a terrible headache that just was getting worse and worse and worse. So I thought it's time to just not try. It wasn't happening. And I thought, well, let's try to do this. Probably need a camera that goes above me and comes down, but we'll work out with what we have, right? That's for sure. Okay. So, this is the turkey recipe. It is delish. And the gravy is just so good. You guys haven't checked that out, go check it out. For sure. Okay, put this back. And Indigo, I've started working on your blanket, but I'm trying to get this other one done because this one, then I can really work on Indigo's blanket. So, of course, I worked on this a little bit past couple days because I just wanted to get it done, and I was like, I wasn't really up to much. And that little thing in back where I'm dealing with that little thing they had to take care of, it's been a little bit on the tender side. So I've had to kind of nurse it a little bit, and that's what I've been doing. So you can see that we have gotten done with the lighthouse. So we're up here where the lighthouse starts up to the top. And now I can't see the chat anyway, so we're going to have to move the computer up. And when we get up to the light, I have this color for the light, for the light of the lighthouse. But then I can't see the chat if I have it that way. Now I can see the chat. So I figured I'll just do it this way tonight. Right? Let you all connect with each other in the chat. Yeah, I know. I just want to get done with this one, and I'm on the last page of this one. So I can't describe it. I've thought about it lately, and I thought, what's going on? And I think some of it is a little bit of discouragement. Can't see my hands. Move it up just a little bit. You guys can see what I'm doing. I think some of it's discouragement because I know we're gonna get to 2K, but it's just like watching. It's like it just feels like it's never going to happen. Some other stuff has been going on, and so there's just been a lot. Well, that's good. Well, that's good. Your spirits are high. I'm glad for that. I can't. I was sad after I found out my friend passed away, and so I've been dealing with that. And I can't really explain it. So I need to get back on the computer, but it's just, and two, now that this computer is now working, it's actually faster than what it was before. It did the thing it did. So I was glad. I was like, okay. So it's a little faster. So now that that's done, now I can use that computer to do some stuff I need to do on it. It'll do what this other Chromebook can't do. Because I think I got to the point with the Chromebook where it's like, this is taking like 10 times longer than it needs to be on here, but it was my only option for a while. And now that that computer is back up and running, there's some things I can get done quicker on there. So I'm glad we were able to get it up and running. And we had an extended warranty on the computer, so they refunded us our money. And we pretty much got the computer for about $10. I was like, cool, that'll work. So we're still raising money for the shoe boxes. They will go back on Sunday. I don't think I'm going to put anything else in there. But I do have to finish the sewing the ends of the little little squares that I did to put in there. I've just kind of gotten a little bit of a funk. And I'm not quite out of it yet. I don't know why. I wish I knew. I think sometimes you get in them and you're like, you know, you don't know what you're, you know, what, you know, you get in those little tiny things. It's like, okay. So it's just, they have to work themselves out. I'm trying to find a place for the pattern so I don't have to, I can see it. But it's also not my pattern, so I can't have you guys see it. It's got to go over there. There's no other room for it. So I saw free, I think it's Free Handley or whatever it is, do this, and I thought, you know what, let me see if I can figure out how to do it. Probably not as well as she has it, because she has it coming down instead of the way I'm doing it. But hi, Crystal World, how are you? But I just figured out, I am just, the thought of getting the rocking chair out and sitting, I didn't have it within me today. I thought, how can I do this where I can be comfortable? And you can put hashtag blessed in the chat if you want people to connect with your channel. And I'm not someone that gets cold a lot, but the past couple of days, it's been chilly in here for some reason. And last year, Josh got me for Christmas, right? He got me this little heater, guys. And it has a little thing on the bottom so that when it's on the table laying flat, it goes on. And this little personal heater, I'm telling you, it warms up the little space. So if you hear that, it's my little personal heater warming up. Keeping me nice and warm. Got it for me last year, and I thought, oh, I'll never use it. I have. I can freeze during the day and then roast at night. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. I'm tired. I'm going to work on this for a little bit, and then I think I'm going to bed. We were up early this morning to go do something, and so I'm tired. Yeah, hashtag blessed in the chat if you want people to connect with your channel. So all I'm doing right now is just doing single crochets. This is how you do, you know, when you do a bobble stitch blanket, you're pretty much doing single crochets and single crochets across and bobble stitches. That's it. So oh, and I saw somebody make a tomato cage tree, and we're gonna do that. I also saw a recipe, and I want to try it too. I had to count. Hold on a second. I saw somebody take cranberry or gel, like the cranberry sauce, but the gel form of the cranberry sauce, and cut that up and freeze it, and then put it in like a little bit of chocolate, like dip it in chocolate. And I want to try it. I want to see if it's any good. It looked delicious, and I want to try that recipe. And somebody did a tomato cage tree. Y'all, we got to try one. We got to make a snowman out of it. But it was really cool. So there's some things coming up. I got the stuff to make my grandmother's spaghetti sauce. You know, we took my grandmother's spaghetti sauce, and the recipe is on the channel. And we put them in these little containers and froze them. And then my mom, like, took them out of the containers and put them back in the freezer. And it was just enough to put a serving over. And then it's got, you know, sometimes I deal with low iron. So it gave me a little bit of you know, with the ground beef and the spaghetti sauce, a little bit of it. And so I thought, I ran out of my grandmother's spaghetti sauce. It's time to make more spaghetti sauce. Three, 64. And then we do a bubble. So, and again, I'm still looking for people that want to do that connection. I'd love to have somebody every day where we just chit chat and have those wonderful connections happening for the month of December. So, excuse me, I am tired tonight. And I have been watching. I found this young lady on through Facebook, and her name is Haley, and I've been watching her lately, and she's just so encouraging. She is just really encouraging. She has disabilities, and yet she just keeps going like I try to do. What's everybody doing tonight? Now, when I show you all how to do this, I'll do it a lot. I figured out I'm going to get one of those, oh my goodness, one of those like poster board things that kind of is a display, and it's going to be white. And I'll put something white on the floor, and we'll set it up so you guys can really clearly see how to do this. But we're just crocheting. I'm just chit-chatting. Hi, Brooke. Yes. I'm using a crochet hook I love my Susan Bates. I've used Susan Bates for years. Probably about the only one I have, and they're harder and harder to find. These I've got about 3 of them. This is a 4.5. I use a 4.5 a lot of the time because I tend to crochet loosely, and this is a bamboo hook, and I love them. I don't know what I'll do when I can't find them anymore. I do have some ones I got from Amazon I was going to test, but I haven't gotten around to that yet. Like I said, guys, I have just been in a little bit of a funk. But go look at that turkey recipe because it was so simple, it was so easy, and it came out absolutely delicious. And the gravy was so good. Now I used flour in the gravy instead of thickening it with cornstarch because my mother doesn't handle cornstarch well. So because of that, we use flour instead. Or you could use Wonder Flour too. Oops, I made a mistake. And this is called frogging, when you make a mistake and you have to undo stuff because you weren't paying attention to the pattern. But I'm going to take our pattern, or I'm going to take a sample and show you all how to do this, because once you start realizing how to read these patterns, they become so easy and so simple. And but we're going to do a tomato tree pattern, or not tomato tree, tomato tree, or project. Tomato tree, it's not. Tomato tree, a tomato cage tree craft. It's the same pattern that we've been working on outside, but it's too cold for outside. But I will go out and crochet in the snow for 20 minutes like I promised. So as you can see, here's the lighthouse. Okay, this is the lighthouse. Now we're up to the top of the lighthouse. Okay, so that's the bottom. That's the house of the lighthouse over here, and then this is the waves on the bottom of it. I was not able to, so it's just grown, but it's the same one. Hi, Misha, how are you, hon? Anybody can put hashtag blessed in the chat if you'd like people to connect with your channel. I just wasn't able to. I just didn't have the energy to go set up the rocking chair in here and everything. So I thought, and right now, I'm having a little bit of sciatic nerve pain, and this is the most comfortable position right now. So this is where Mary decided that she was going to go live tonight. This'll work. You don't need to see me. The magic happens in the chat, guys. That's where I want you guys connecting with each other. And we're only 35 away from 2K. We're so close. Gorgeous. I can't attest to the beauty and the love. I can attest to the beauty that comes with her blankets. We're grateful to receive some of her blessings. I won't. I just want to get to 2K. We're like so close. I was outside in the cold for a couple hours today. They were offering They were offering an Aldi gift card to, people that stood in line. Of course, I brought my walker, but we sat outside this morning for about 2 hours. Sometimes it helps. I will be surprised. Sometimes, if I'm hurting, standing out in the cold for a few minutes actually numbs me up for a while. I have no idea. It helps. It helps for me, because that's what my doctor told me. My doctor, I'll never forget when I went to my pain management doctor in Cincinnati. He's like, you're in the wrong state. You need to move to Arizona. And I'm like, nope, too hot. So sometimes it actually helps, and I'm not so sore when I step out in the cold. So, but our community was giving away some Aldi gift cards today to help people, and we were able to go to Aldi and get like a turkey and stuff for Thanksgiving. So that was helpful. Thought that was really nice that the community came together to give back. So yesterday it rained like all day. I mean, I was like, last night I was cold and I had headache. I mean, it was just like nothing was going to happen yesterday. I was too tired. And I listened to my body and said, okay, Mary, you need to go to bed. And I'm normally like in bed. I shopped first time. Oh, awesome. Oh, that's great, Misha. Um, but I was in bed by 10 o'clock last night, curled up, and I'm like, my body's trying to tell me something, and I need to listen to it. And that's exactly what I did. So, and then I've got to start next week, and then this coming Saturday, we're going to have Thanksgiving kind of with our my mom, Thanksgiving meal. And then I got a little ham. I put the turkey away because it's probably going to be next year before we haul out that turkey and try to cook it. We don't do whole turkeys very well. And so we'll have ham and so forth on Saturday. And then we will, and then we go to Indiana, I think, next week? Is next week Thanksgiving already? Seems like the days are just gone. I think next Thursday is Thanksgiving. So we'll be heading to Indiana on Thursday. Yeah, is that next week? Or do we have one more week after that? Is it next Thursday? Maybe it is. I gotta get ready to... Next week, yep. So we'll be leaving early Thursday morning for Indiana. Early. We usually leave here. We'll probably be leaving about 5 o'clock in the morning. And I think Christina's and Jared are coming. But they're going to think about going to Indiana on Wednesday. And then we'll meet them there on Thursday. And then we'll be staying there through until Sunday. Because we go to his family's party on his mother's side. We stay at his aunt's house, and then we go on Saturday to his father's side, family side of the party. So I gotta start packing this week. And tomorrow, you guys can help me. I got all the beans because I'm making the beans for my mother-in-law to give to her and my sister-in-law. So tomorrow I will get the beans out and we'll put them together and put them in the bag. That recipe is on the channel. If you guys are looking for an easy, I got all the beans for it tonight, for an easy gift to give to somebody. That recipe's on there. You just get dry beans and you mix them all together. I didn't have the energy for that tonight. I thought about doing it. I just didn't. But tomorrow night, get all the beans together and put them together, and you guys can sit while I do that. And then I'm going to upload that little thing because I got the mini M&Ms because the other M&Ms weren't going to fit in the little ornaments. So I will get that uploaded this weekend in a short form so you guys can see that finished, because it's a really cute little craft. Easy, simple, lickety split. We got some exciting things coming up in December. We got some crafts coming up. I've never heard of a tomato cage tree, but we're going to do it because I think it's like stinking adorable. And you can make a snowman out of it. So that's what we're going to do. And then I should be done with this pattern so I can start showing everybody how to do bobble stitch patterns. How to read them, how to do them, how to do all that, where to start, how to do yarn changes, all that kind of stuff. But just because I'm doing them and you don't crochet doesn't mean you can't be in here connecting with people and dropping your channel link. You can put #blessed in the chat if you want people to connect with your channel. It's all about connecting and growing whatever we're doing, whether we're crafting. You guys can still be in here. I have a snowman. We're going to take some beans and make a snowman out of just a wooden thing I got at Dollar Tree. We're going to make it super cute with some beans. So we got some stuff coming up. I've gotten the computer up. I don't know if I will have time before I leave to do much with Blessings Through Connection, but when I come back, I'll restart it again. So we got the computer up and fixed. And start getting back to Blessings Through Connection again. I had to stop because that was the computer I did it on. So, and like I said, I know last week the channel shoutouts were sporadic. The recaps didn't come out this week. What I'm going to do is go back tomorrow. Look at not last week, the week before, and get all of the recaps and put that out. Then whatever last week channel shoutouts I did get out, we'll put them in a new week next week. And we'll start fresh. So if somebody got a channel shout out, I'll give them another one so that they can be in the recaps and everything. So we will get that situated, I promise again. Because I'm going to do some computer work. I don't know, I can't explain it. I have just literally sat at the computer and I've looked at it and I just haven't been able to do anything. It's like, it's not happening. And I'm thankful for my Chromebook, but it can be very slow. And I think that's part of it. It's like, I don't want to work on it because it's taking forever to do this. And there's just, I don't know. I think finding out my friend passed Same time Patty passed, probably brought a lot of things back. Wasn't expecting, and just some other things have been going on, and you know, I'm not depressed. I'm just in a funk. That's the best way. And I've been in a little bit of extra pain. I've just been kind of sore and hurting, and I can't put my finger on it. I want to, but I can't. And so there's some, like I said, there's some things behind the scenes right now. Nothing major, but we'll eventually go into a little bit of detail, but I can't right now. So let's just have to wait. Nothing major, just life stuff. And I think that it also, I sat there and thought, age that I am, I'd like to be 29 forever, but I can't. But I think too, my age and things that are happening for us women around the age that I am, I think that has a factor in it too. Where you kind of go through that little bit of time in your life where everything kind of changes. Your body changes, your hormones change, all that kind of stuff just happens. And so anyway. But I think we'll be able to send out I think if anybody still wants to contribute to the shoe boxes, we will still take that. We will turn them in on Sunday. They're pretty much full. We just need a little bit more to track them and more back to what we put into the shoe boxes. And I think next year I'm going to start early. I know the Bible verses are a little bit delayed, and I finally said to myself, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. I'll eventually get caught up with all of that. I've just had to take a little bit of a break from some things because my focus has been other places. And it has been. I will be very honest about that. And I lost my gloves today, and I don't know where they went to. I had to order new gloves because I like my gloves I have. But I lost them. So. Anyway. But I'm going to go to bed early tonight because we were up about 6 o'clock this morning. And this girl does not do early morning. Just to let you know. Doesn't happen. So. But we may be able to do this a little bit more often for a while. If I'm struggling. I don't know if you all are enjoying this, but at least I can get my work done. You guys can connect in the chat if need be. If I'm having a difficult day, this may be an option. I'm going to head to bed shortly. I know it's early, but I feel like it's late. That little heater, I said to my husband, I won't use it. And he goes, well, you never know. And I'm so glad now. As it pumps out the heat. I've used it a couple of days here when it's been just a little, takes chill off the air a little bit. Last year, Indiana was cold this time of year. I'm hoping was not as cold. And it actually snowed, believe it or not. It snowed when we went to Indiana last time. So we'll see. I get snow, but it snowed. It was so chilly last time. So we'll see. And I'll see what kind of reception we have. We never know anymore. I think Josh was talking about going 30 because we're leaving so early in the morning that he doesn't think there'll be much traffic on the road. So we'll see. If there's not, then he was talking about going 30. So maybe we'll have some reception. If we do, then I can put my phone on that little thing and just take a road trip with us. We shall see what kind of reception we have. If we go the back roads, I know it'll cut it out, but if we go the other way, it probably won't. But we'll be leaving early in the morning before the light comes up. Usually we pack the car the night before, and we'll want to get up and out. Because then, if we get to his aunt's house, we like to get there and get our stuff in the house, and then enjoy family. So, and I don't usually comb my hair till I've gotten there. I just let it naturally dry on the way, and if we need to stop to use the restroom on the way. So, my nieces and nephews won't be there. I won't get to see them this year. I'm sad about that. My one niece is just the hugger. She just sees me and it's like she just loves coming over and sitting in my lap and getting hugs. She goes, I just love getting hugs from you, Aunt Mary. She won't be there. My other niece is going to be in her teens. Oh, I need to stop growing. I want to have them up here one year. I promised one year we'd have them up. They're only like 3 hours away. So I wanted to take them around the Amish country one of these days. But they are doing this for as long as Josh's grandmother is still here, and she's still with us. And so as long as she's here, they're going to do it. And then his aunt's just going to do it for her family. But we'll probably go up like the day after Thanksgiving so that we could still see them and then go do the Lawson Christmas, his father's side of the family Christmas party. So we shall see. Check the pattern. 63. Almost getting up where the light is. So if you look, just so that people are wondering, if you're looking at the top of the blanket, each one of these little V's, this is considered a stitch. If you all can see that, that is. These little V's that are on the blanket right here, that is considered a stitch. So when I'm going to, here's the bobble right here. So I'm literally counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that's how I'm doing it. When I count I'm really kind of taking this stitch into factor of how many stitches across till I get to where I need to do my next bobble. So, and it's just doing a single crochet. You're just taking your hook, hook, you're putting it in, you're grabbing yarn, and you're just closing it off. That's all you're doing with when it comes to doing a single crochet. Usually this blanket, the lady who did the pattern recommended a 5 to a 5.5, but I tend to crochet loosely, so I need to go down to a smaller hook. The yarn I'm using, were usually their suggestion is to use a 5 or a 5.5. But I have to go down because I crochet loosely, and then it's absolutely huge. So I need to do what works. My husband's like, your hands just fly when you're doing this. I'm not going to be on here terribly long. I'm tired. And, but I thought I'll come on for as long as I can. Go to bed. I did stop off at the store and got a can of lentil soup because I just felt like I needed something warm. It was good. So I have to really watch because I'm using a hook that's smaller than what they recommend for the yarn, that I have to watch that I'm grabbing all the... For instance, I don't know if I can do it. Like the yarn isn't splitting and I'm not grabbing, I'm grabbing all of the pieces of the yarn. I'm not like... just did a double crochet, but kind of like that. I have to really watch that I'm not it's not that I'm grabbing the whole thing. I just did the one we did for the person in the church, and that's because I worked on it pretty consistently because I wanted to get it done because it was a deadline. About 6 weeks, if not less than that. And usually these come up very quickly. This one we started in, where was it? We started this in like August, but I haven't worked on it like consistently. We've just been working on it outside. I haven't sat and worked on this for hours. I did the other day I have for the past couple of days just sit and worked on it because I want to get it done, and because I just haven't been able to focus on anything else. And I've been in some pain, and it just was like, I don't know how to, I just was like, I just needed to zone out, and that's what I did. So I got pretty far on it because that was all I did. And I had those stuff for the Fall Fest to get done, to send out to all the people, and all that kind of stuff. So I just had a lot of stuff going on. And that I've had to put the Band-Aid or the gauze pad back on that little thing they took off because it was angry. That was hurting a lot. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going through it. I think we all go through it in life. Certain times in our lives we're just like, you know what? Can we just, come and pull the sheets over our head and then just wait for tomorrow to come along? It's kind of where I've been like. That's where I've been. So. Nine, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And we've been on here for about an hour. Of course, I'm talking too. But we did this row, we did that one, we've done this one now. So they happen very quickly. And if I'm just concentrating on it and I'm not really talking and I'm watching something, I can move quickly. But I think I'm tired tonight. And I think I'm like, okay. Sometimes if I'm having insomnia, I will Josh can sleep through anything, that boy can. And I will put the light on and just crochet for a while. And sometimes it'll put me to sleep. Just the rhythm of doing it'll put me to sleep. And some people have said that the bobble stitch can be very hard on your hands. I really haven't noticed that it has, because it's such a repetitive motion. I can't type or write for nothing. But I can do this. And I find out if I don't, my hands are so conditioned to this now that it's like if I don't do a little bit every day, that if I skip like several days in a row, when I go back to it, it takes me a little bit to kind of get back to my hands not going, wait, we haven't done this for a while. We're out of training practice here. So, and if you notice, like sometimes I'll go back if my bobbles are a little bit, they need to be straightened out a little bit. Just take them and pop them down and then pop them back up. With this is kind of like those bobble tools or those punch things that the kids have nowadays. Where they take them and they go, they go like this, and they go boop boop. It's just in blanket form, but it's kind of the same thing. My nieces and nephews have those things. I'm telling you, the stuff they have for kids today and newborns and babies and all that, I didn't have any of that stuff when I had Christina. Like, man, just go into the stores and you're like, man, they've got all this stuff and these things they didn't have before for them. Just amazes me. Old-fashioned stuff. So I will get back to shout-outs next week, and I will get the recaps and stuff put out again and all that kind of stuff. We'll start fresh and we'll go back to where I stopped. So if anybody got a shout-out, I think last week, and and it was all a mess, then we'll just redo that week again. Right? You guys got to check out that recipe. But there's a recipe, and you take gel, and I want to try it because I was never somebody that liked cranberries until I got older. Like gel cranberry sauce. But you take the gel not the whole berry one, the gel cranberry, and you cut it in slices, and you're supposed to put it in the freezer, and then cover it with chocolate chips, like chocolate. It looked delicious. I'm like, I have got to try this. And I was at the store yesterday, and I thought about grabbing it. I thought, I'll wait till December to check it out and see if I see about it. Does it look good? It said that it says that once you freeze the gel, the just the solid gel cranberry stuff, not the whole one. When you freeze it, it almost makes it like a jelly kind of thing. It makes like a frozen treat. But then I could just see it covered in chocolate. It just sounds, the sweetness to the tartness of it. I'm going to try it because it sounds really good. My husband's like, ew. But the turkey recipe I put out, Josh does not like, he doesn't like gravy, and he doesn't like cranberry sauce. And he loved that gravy. He's like, yep. And he's not somebody that likes stuffing either. And he was like, you can try me with this gravy on stuffing, and I may like it. I'm like, okay. He said, you can make this again. The stuffing was so good. Or the dressing for it. And the dressing is like already in, it's just the drippings from the turkey breast. Like, it was so good. I'm going to my cousin. Oh, that's awesome, Sandy. Yeah, we're going to his aunts and uncles in Indiana. And we stay over for his father's side of the family's get together. See everybody there, and then we usually and then we usually come home on Sunday. So we won't be in church on Sunday. But by the time we get done with we've thought about leaving after the Lawson's Christmas party, but you're driving all night. Josh doesn't do that very well at nighttime. We've thought about leaving right after the party, but we by the time we left there, and then came home. Left the party. It'd be 9 o'clock at night. By the time we get home, it would be almost probably 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And it's just that it's really late. And you have to be careful too, because when you're coming home, especially that time during the winter, sometimes there's a lot of deer that come out, and you have to be very vigilant. Like if we're driving on the roads, usually, especially at nighttime, Josh will be driving and my eyes will be peeled, especially after the one we almost hit the other day. And that was in thing. You know, um, the last time after we got back from Mount G's, we almost literally hit a deer. So if we're going late, especially on the back roads, he'll be driving and my eyes will be peeled out for deer to make sure that I'm not seeing one like go across the road. So it's better to, if we get up in the morning on Sunday, we have our coffee, we leave, and we get on the road and we get home about 5 or 6 o'clock at night. And so I probably will be doing this for the next couple of days after we get back. Because I'm tired after we get back. You know, you don't sleep well if it's not in your own bed. You want your own bed. We have the only bed that I can sleep on without much difficulty or pain is a sleep number bed. And we, like my niece, we have split king. So that, because Josh will sleep with his feet like all the way up here, and I'll have my feet just up a little bit, my head up a little bit. He'll have his head down and his feet all the way up here, so he can adjust his side and I can adjust mine. Never forget my little niece, my Aubrey. She comes in my room and she just looks at our bed. See, that's what you have to be careful of, is that you're not just grabbing, especially with this, and then it's not going to hook in right, and you can see it on the back end. You got to make sure you're grabbing all the strands, because this hook is a little smaller than what the yarn really wants it to be. But anyway, my niece came in the bedroom when we were in Cincinnati, and she just looked at me and she goes, Aunt Mary, she was just in this gasp. And I said, yes, what's the matter, Aubrey? She goes, your beds are broken. Because there was a split down the middle of our bed. She was just gasping. Oh my goodness. Wow. Yep. Well, we almost had that deer right on our top of our window. I'd have been calling my son-in-law to come and get it. But it came very close to being a hood ornament. It was a very lucky deer, that was for sure. But if we're going to be traveling at night, around here, our eyes are peeled. Hi, 99. Why are you upset? So, I'll never forget her just saying to me, oh, Aunt Mary, your beds are broken. I said, no, honey, that's the way they're supposed to be. I'm sorry you're upset. You know, sometimes in life, we have to realize that sometimes we're upset about something we can't control. And we also have to realize, is it our problem? Because if it's not our problem, then we can't control it. And we have to decide whose problem is it. If it's something we can fix, fine. But if it's not, oh. Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you this. May this help you feel better. Jordan was Christina's autism service dog. And I said when we got him, when it was time to do that terrible thing, not terrible, but that thing that was going to be so hard to do, that I was going to be right by his side when we did it. And we were in the room. They had given him a shot because he just was at his end of his life. He was in a lot of pain, to make him comfortable. And I said to myself, when it's time for that, I'll stay with him. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't. And so we all said our goodbyes. And then we stood outside the door looking in on the window. And the lady, the doctor that was there, just stroked him. And he was blind at that point. Just stroked him and loved on him and, you know, everything. And we were right out the window. We were there. But I didn't want Christina. Christina says, Mom, I can't handle being in the room. And I needed to be with her. And I knew Jordan would understand. And when we had to put Abby down, which was our first family dog, she was our toy poodle, my husband went with my mom. She was my dog. And my mom was there. And she was with her. And I was with my daughter because that's where I needed to be because we were all upset. So sometimes that's something that we can't handle, and it's okay. Don't beat yourself up. I knew that as much as I really wanted to be in the room when it happened, I miss Sunrise Dawn. Put hashtag blessed in the chat if you like people to connect with your channel. I'm really sorry. Now, sometimes it's hard. We kept Jordan alive, I think, longer than probably what we should have. Because we knew that when we put him down, it was going to be so hard for my daughter. And it was. It was heartbreaking for her. And so, I'm really sorry you're going through that. It's good to see you, Dawn. But everybody can put hashtag blessed. And Dawn, yours is Miss exclamation point Miss. So I think it's either it's Sunrise. I think it is. Hashtag blessed, or yours is exclamation point Sunrise because you're a mod. And my mods have a special code for them. It's a message pinned to the top. But you can put hashtag blessed, but I think yours is explanation Sunrise. Yep. There you go. My mods get a special thing. We are only 35 away from 2K. We are so close. So close. If anybody can share us out or give us a shout out for it, we would appreciate it so much. I see you go live, and I've just not really, usually by then I've been going to bed a little bit earlier lately. Just been really tired. So, lots going on. That is going on. See, when I'm changing colors, well, if you don't feel like streaming, then don't. When you're changing colors, you're just taking this yarn, because this is on there, this one right here. You're just taking this and just going through the hook right here. I was not up to streaming last night. I did not. I had to move the stream at the last little bit because I thought, I am not up to this tonight. So if you're too upset, don't do it. Thank you. Yes, when we get to 2K, I will, and it snows for the first time, I will go crochet in the snow for 20 minutes. I still plan to do that when we get to 2K, because we're only 35 away. You have a rainbow blanket. Hi, Alfonso. How you doing? But hashtag blessed in the chat if you'd like people to connect with your channel. I think sometimes we push our bodies in ways that it was not supposed to. Sometimes we really have, as somebody who deals with chronic pain and fibromyalgia, I have to really listen to my body, because if not, it's not a good thing. It bites me in the backside every time. So. So I'm probably going to stand in a little bit longer, and then I'm going to go get ready for bed and probably go to bed early because I'm tired tonight. I think I'm finally getting warmed up. I can turn my little heater off. Well, heaters. I didn't think it was going to be as powerful as it was. Make my grandmother's spaghetti sauce tomorrow, so I can freeze it. So if I didn't feel like eating much, I could put that in and knew that I was going to have something nice. Well, that's good. You don't want to lose it. Absolutely. Keep myself hydrated. Well, that'll be good, though. My son-in-law takes time off every year when it's deer season. He has vacation time and he uses it then. For sure. Hopefully, I think I'm going to have enough yarn to finish the rest of this without having to go get another strand of this yarn. I am hoping that's the case. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 19, 20, 40, 1, 42, 53, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50, 34, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, hopefully, 65, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. Single crochets and then the bobble stitches. So you got the single crochet and then you've got the bobble stitches. 13. So, and you can do a popcorn stitch with this, but I like the bobble stitch better because you can see that in order to do the bobble stitch, I am keeping all of this yarn on the hook. The popcorn stitch, you have to take the yarn off the hook. And then between each bobble stitch, there's always a single crochet. So when you do a bobble stitch, you're taking yarn, you're pulling that, you're going in, you're pulling yarn up, going through two, going back again, pulling yarn up, going through two. Now you've got three, taking yarn, going through, pull it up, going through two. Now we have four, taking yarn, going through, pulling that up, and now we have five. And then you're just going through all the 5 things. Then you're going in doing a single crochet. Then you're going in and doing a bobble stitch, because I have 13 bobbles to do in this little section. There's always a single crochet between the bobbles. As was like, by Miss Sunrise Dawn, there's always a single crochet between the bobbles. And I'm going to teach you guys how to do these blankets, how to read the patterns, how to change the things, because it's once you do it, it's really not that hard. It is super simple to do these blankets. Once you get the hang of them, they're done. It's like I just love the fact that you can make them so much more personable. Like the one that I just got done making, I was able to put the child's name and the birth date on there. Like if somebody's getting married, you could put their wedding date on there. You could put, their name on there if you wanted to. So you can make them very personable to the person. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You do 13 bobbles. This is the 10th one. And this is almost kind of like doing like a typewriter. Those old-fashioned typewriters where you were doing you typed and then you hit it and it came back to you, and then you typed and then you hit the little thing and it went back. It's kind of the same concept. One more bobble. Because your work is always your work that you're doing the bobble stitches with is always on the outside. So this is always flat on this side. It's always flat on the back. Your work for the bobbles is always in the front part. So when you're doing a bobble stitch row, when you turn your work, you're always then doing a single crochet all the way back. Then you're coming back and doing a bobble stitch, then a single crochet. Always the way it works. I'm looking. That would be awesome. So you're always doing, one side is your work side that you do the bobble stitch, and the other side, this next row I do, will be a single crochet. There's always a single crochet row between the bobble stitch row. And if people say, oh, I don't think I can do that, you can do these if you really want to sit and learn how to do them. I think they're such an easy thing. I don't do well with reading patterns altogether, but I can read these because they're on a graph. They're visually, you get to see what they look like and what it's going to be like from the way it looks. Still working to try to figure out how to print that one that I'm working on. What I am doing with the one for Indigo is I'm working on it on the computer. So if I need to make adjustments with the count, I can make adjustments. So I think I'm going to have just enough of this color, because I've got one more strand, to finish hoping that will be the case, because I really do not want to have to go out and buy another strand of this for right now. So, but I'll put it up for tomorrow. We'll work on the beans tomorrow, get them all ready to go for gifts. The recipe, it's just dried beans, but how to put it together is all on the channel. I'll do the other things this weekend so you guys can see what that'll look like. Now I'm turning my work around. See, the problem with these blankets is they get bigger. And then you're going, I have bigger. Now before, the bobbles were facing out. Okay? Now the work is facing where the smooth side is on the outside. The bobble stitches are on the inside of me, in the inside part. So when the bobble stitches are facing you, where you can see them, that's always the time you're going to do a single crochet row. So this is entirely a single crochet. So I'm not doing any bobble stitches on this row. This becomes a single crochet row. No counting needed. You're just going in. Just you have to be careful when you're doing the bobble stitch or the single crochet row that you don't miss. Let me take this back a second. You don't miss the stitch before the bobble, which is right here. That's a stitch before the bobble right there. That you don't miss to do that. And then you're going back to all the way the back of the bobble right here, all the way to the back, and making sure that you're going to hit that too. Because if not, it will throw you off. You want to go to the back of the bobble, make sure you get a single crochet in there. And now we're changing yarns. So you're going to put this towards the back, on that side. Pick up your string that's still attached. Put it through. Now we're going to start doing single crochets with this yarn. All the way across. No bobbles on this row. Because the bobbles are now facing me. So whenever the bobbles are facing me, that row is always a single crochet row because you're doing the back of the work. So again, it's just like a typewriter, where you old-fashioned typewriters, where you go ding, 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 swing, ding, ding, that kind of is the way I think about it. And then you got to really make sure that when you're going there, you're not skipping. Because it's really easy when you get to like one where there's this many bobbles across that you're missing. You're missing the to make sure that you're hitting all of the crochet, the single crochets, especially between these bobbles. You've got to hit that space, then the back of the bobble. Then the space in between the bobbles, you've got to make sure that you've done it. And I've missed them, and I've gone back, and why are my stitches not, adding up right? It's because I've missed that space in between the bobbles, and I haven't done a single crochet, and it affects the count. Yeah. My dad had a typewriter. Christina still has. Boy, he could just type away on that typewriter. And my dad he had a pest control business. And he'd be in the thing, typing away receipts and proposals and all this kind of stuff. And I finally got him on the computer. And I started streamlining everything because I said, Dad, you're taking forever. You take hours typing away all these receipts and stuff, and we got things streamlined so he could, put everything on thing and print everything, and I had to sit there for hours typing all this stuff. He still had to type proposals and everything, but we tried to get him to learn how to use the computer, and that was just, he couldn't grasp that, so I had to help him. Where I had to help him do it, but this way, he had all this stuff, all of his monthly receipts and amounts owed and everything on wordsheet thing, and we could go in and add a new customer easily. We sat down. He told me what he did on them. We wrote notes on them, and we got it done within hours compared to what he was spending hours upon hours typing individual receipts. Typewriter when I was in 7th grade until I had to give it up. Yeah. Well, he typed in the Navy. He was in the Admiral staff, so he had to learn how to type. And he could type pretty good. And I actually learned how to kind of be in the secretary realm, because that's what I was going to do, was going to be a secretary. So I had to learn how to type And it has served me very well over the years, but you could just hear him typing away. So, okay, let me see something for a second. But we could not get him to understand how to do a computer. That was beyond what he was able to compute. So the next row up is the row that is next 2 rows up is where we put up. I mean, this could all be one color, but I think it would be cool to put the yellow in for the light. So I think, God, let's see, how much yarn do I have left? It's getting, it probably won't get through the next row. Hoping that that'll be enough to get me through the rest of the yarn till I get to the end without having to go up or having to go get another thing yarn. So because I have 2 more pages. I have 2 more rows before I turn this to the next page. I don't think it's going to make it through the next 2 rows. I think after this one gets done, I'm going to, let's see. And if you all can go back, and if there's stuff you haven't seen yet, you can go back and watch it. I'd really appreciate it. Just with this thing that was on my back and just dealing with some stuff, and then I was sick. All of those things kind of put our watch time in the hole a little bit. So if you guys, even though we're monetized, we still have to maintain watch time. So if there's things you haven't watched, if you can go back and watch it for us, we'd appreciate that. That does help. Remember my first job when I was in the summer youth program, and I worked at the unemployment office, faxing and making copies. Yep. Sounds interesting. You know, I used to work in a hotel, and I don't know why I've always done good memorizing numbers. And there was a lot of different extensions. And I learned a lot of those extensions without having to look at the page every 5 seconds. Which I was glad for. I have a good memory when it comes to numbers. I may not have a good memory with other things, but I had that whole thing down at one point. Yep. Remember the fax. I remember the dial-up for the computer. Now we don't make those noises when we go on the computer, do we? You know, now connected. I remember the AOL and all that kind of stuff. You know what I've been watching lately? Probably ridiculous stuff, but I've been watching just like, and it's come up in my like Facebook feeds of watching people, and you know, the police officers will stop them for whatever reason. It's just ordinary stuff. And I'm telling you, some people the way they act, it's like they would have been on their way with a ticket and, whatever. And they just act like you sit there and you watch them and you think, y'all know where you're going, right? See, I have to watch that. I can see. I'm sitting there going, y'all know where you're going, right? You're making this worse. You don't need to. Just, it gives me a little bit of a chuckle to think it doesn't need to be like this, but they do, and it's kind of like, why? Just, they're asking you for your identification and they're asking you for your registration, and you hand it over and you're nice, and guess what? You get your little thing and you go on your way. I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. I just wonder. Oh, yes. Josh and I racked up a lot of bills when it came to long distance phone calls. That's what I said to Christina when she was dating Jared. I said, because we were still 3 hours away. And I said, do you know the blessings you have that you are able to do all this for free and have Facebook Messenger and all this stuff, and it doesn't cost you a penny? I remember way back they were trying to get us involved with this company. I don't know whatever happened to the company. I don't even remember the name of it. And they were talking about video chat phones. It was like, you don't have to really worry about that. If you have a phone, you can video chat. If you got Messenger. And Jared was not somebody that really was on Facebook, but he got Messenger just so he could talk to Christina. So I'm like, do you know what we would have been able to save if we had just been able to not have long distance phones and bills and all that kind of stuff? Unbelievable. I had to fix that one because it had come away that all the yarn was not hooked in. Let's see how much yarn I have, right? Look at a little yarn chicken for a minute. Oops, sorry. I have friends in New Mexico that still have landlines. Nope. I got rid of my landline a long time ago. My grandmother had a landline for years. Tried to get her to use her cell phone, but she just didn't do that. I remember when my dad had the big, huge brick phone, like you could break somebody with that one. I mean, it was huge. No, they still had I mean, I'm sure they do, but those South organizations have video phones. Yeah, they were expensive, and I just remember they were trying to having video phones, and then, it's like now you don't even need that. I mean, like Christina called us today. She video phoned. We all have iPhones. That was one thing Christina said to her husband. She's like, he's an Android person and she's not. She said, guess what? I'm going to be an iPhone person the rest of my life. You can have the Android. So he likes the Android. She likes the iPhone. She's already said to him. She's already told him, guess what? And we're iPhone people. So they're a divided house. She's already said to him, I will be an iPhone person for the rest of my life. You want Android? Fine. I want iPhone. Yep. I think a lot of people just have their cell phones and that's it. And then they're done. Oh, this was another thing that happened too, guys. Just so people know. So Josh gets a phone call. Let's understand this one from his over-the-counter medication people. And they say to them, we can't fill your insulin anymore. Okay? This was Sunday, I think it was. So we're starting to flip out. We're like, what do you mean you can't fill the insulin anymore? He is on concentrated insulin. And there's only one company that makes this insulin. That's it. No other company makes this concentrated insulin. Because of his Klinefelters, he is very insulin resistant. It is the only one that works. So they call him on the phone. They go, we can't fill your insulin anymore. It's getting discontinued. And we're like, okay, you've got to be kidding me. So they are discontinuing the vials of insulin, which he uses to fill his Omnipod with. So now he has to get the insulin, which they still make, in the Smart Pens. Okay? So instead of needing 7 vials of insulin every 3 months, they're going to have to prescribe to him like 60 Smart Pens of insulin. I mean, it's not like another company makes this concentrated insulin and he could get it from another company. Nope. They don't do it. So that was another thing on my mind, is going, oh my goodness gracious. How is he going to get his insulin? So the doctor sent the prescription in. Now we got to work with the doctor's office to get the right amount of pens in. Because the doctor called in the insulin and said, and so he looked at the amount of pens he's getting, and he's like, I'm only getting 2 pens? You've got to be kidding me. 2 pens won't even, I mean, it's ridiculous. So now they're discontinuing the insulin things, or his insulin in the vials, and he's going to need so many more pens than he would need the vials, because I have no idea why they're doing it. It didn't make any sense to me. And he called the company directly to make sure that that's exactly what was happening. And then the doctor's office prescribes him 2 pens. He's like, that's not going to be enough. So now we got to fight with the insurance company to go ahead and give him the correct amount of pens he needs in order to maintain it. Meanwhile, we changed our insurance today. So I'm like, gravy. We're doing a new insurance next year because the other insurance we've been with for several years now, for a long time, is not as good as this other one we're getting. So now we're going to have to be the other insurance that we're going with is actually in this, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 18, 19, 20, is in the United States. I don't know. So all of their call center is located in the United States. So when we call the insurance company, we'll be talking to people that actually talk in English and in the United States. And we have somebody at church that says they really like this insurance company. Nope, they are not making this vial of insulin anymore. They're going to still make the insulin, but it's going to be in the Smart Pen, which doesn't carry as much per thing as a vial does. And so now he's got to get with the doctor and say, okay, now we got to figure out how many pens I'm going to need per. It's absolutely ridiculous. They're just not going to make it in the vials anymore. So he's going to need 60 pens in order to do, his insulin alone per vial is about $2,000 per vial because it's a concentrated insulin. It is the only insulin that works for him. It's the one thing that has kept him alive. Because of the Klinefelter's syndrome that he is very insulin resistant, and his own body just does not accept his body rejects his own insulin. If he produces any insulin, his body says, I ain't taking that insulin. So, it's crazy. So that's been on my mind. Just a lot of little things going on. I just have gone to the computer several times going, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to get out the November songs for the devotions and for the Bible verses. I haven't had it in me. And I really want to get done with this blanket. We are doing it for, in case anybody's not connected with this website anymore. Yep. Well, it's great that they're still producing it. It's just, to me, ridiculous that he is going to need so many more. It's going to cost the insurance so much more for this insulin now in the pens versus the vials. You don't just get rid of something like this. You don't. It's just, to me, ridiculous that this is who we're doing the blanket for. This YouTube channel. You don't get rid of something like this without, I don't know their reasoning behind why they're getting rid of the vials. I don't understand it. Like I said, it's about $2,000 per vial. It's not your regular insulin. Oh, thankfully he has insulin still in the refrigerator in the vials. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but his doctor wrote it for 7 pens. I'm like, that ain't going to be enough. Or 2 pens. Now he's got to call and deal with them, but he said he wasn't up to it today. And the person that was talking, well, your doctor you'll have to decide on something else. He said, do you understand that this is the only insulin I can take? It is the only insulin that works for me. He said, there's no other insulin I can do that does. This is the only one, and you're the only company that makes this. Do you understand this? It's not like I can just go to another regular insulin. This is the only company that makes this specific insulin that works for him. So I can't tell you why they did it. I have no idea. I'm trying to see how long this... Got one more row before I go on to the last page of this pattern. And I want to see where we are on the yarn. Because then I'm going to stop for tonight. And I will... Oh boy. I just think, I mean, either that or they're not selling much of it because it's not something that a lot of people use, but I just don't understand I don't understand it. I think I'm almost at the end of this yarn, which I was hoping I could get to the next page before I had to change yarns. And almost there. And we're ready to add the yellow onto the little thing to make the light. Be coming up. Yep. Be ready to change yarns here in a minute. I've got one more strand of yarn, or one more skein of yarn. And then I'm hoping I can get through that without having to necessarily change to go out and buy another one. Now, I always change it when I'm kind of near bobble stitches, if I can, because this is my last skein of this yarn, and I'm hoping that's all I need. Because then when I go to tie the ends in, I can kind of hide it a little bit better. I find out if it gets too bulky. Of course, I glue on all my ends in because don't matter what I do, I can't seem to get them to stay in where I have them. So we'll finish this row and then I'll end it here for tonight. Then I'm going to go get myself ready for bed. And then I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to listen to my body that says, you're hurting, you're tired, you need to go get some rest. But even though we have a whole page left, not all of it is this color. So I am hoping that I will have enough. And I won't need much of the yellow, just a little bit. So just making sure I'm pulling this through so it's going to get tied in later. So I have to see. It's going to be interesting because I'm going to have to pull that through. I don't have another blue, so I don't know how I'm going to handle that one yet. Usually I would have another blue right there, but I'm just going to have to kind of be back and forth on that one a little bit. We will figure it out when I get there. It's going to be a little complicated to do, but we'll figure it out. Usually I would have two, but I think we'll be okay because it's not that much of the yellow that's going to need to get on one side. So I'm probably going to have to carry it across anyway on the back end of it because it's the only way to do that, and take it back and carry it. That's the way I'll have to do it, which is not the way I normally do it, but we got to have the yellow for the light, which I know you could do this all the same color, but I just think that the yellow part in the middle just will be cool to have it. To have the yellow kind of there. You don't have to, but I think it'll be cool to have I don't think it'll look right not to have the yellow as kind of the light shining through the lighthouse. It would be cool to do one of these and have kind of like the stream of well, it'd be hard to do because you would just be doing one little bobble part, but having the light go like streaming down. But it wouldn't be easy to do because you would only be getting that one little section of bobble, and that would be it. You wouldn't really be carrying it over. Easier to do on a corner to corner blanket. Okay, we're gonna get to the end of this row. This girl's about had it tonight. Oh. Almost to this end of this row. This is just a single crochet part. Because again, the bobbles are facing me. I just found out recently churches in Denver Metro are now using new AI Bible. Well, that's not good. We don't need to be making AI out of Bibles. AI serves its purpose, but not with that. Because AI could really... It's like when I take AI and I use it for the Bible verses and I say, make a poem out of it, then make a song out of it, that's different. But I'm taking from the actual text of the Bible. Not doing that. Yep, so do I. So do I. So now we're done with the second page, going on to the third page of this. So the next row after this will be, we got one more row before we do, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of this. We're going to use this color. It's called lemon ice. It's really pretty. It's not as yellow as what it looks in there. It's kind of like a light yellow, but we're going to be using that for the light. Because you can see where we're at. That this is, okay, this is the top of the lighthouse. So you can see that that's kind of where the top of the lighthouse is. Here's the lighthouse itself. Now we're kind of in this part, and so this next row after here is going to be one more row, and then in the middle is going to be where the yellow is for the it's got one more row of bobbles with spaces, and then this section here is going to have the light for the yellow. So you can see where the lighthouse is, gone up all the way here, and see where the house is. It's grown, right? You can see where the house is. The house is over here, right? House is there. This is the bottom of the lighthouse. These are the waves. And then we've come up here. And now, okay, so now this section here is going to take us up here, and we got one more row, and then we're going to do a little light in the middle. So that's what it is. No, I had a little, oh, there it is. But I'm going to end it here. And I think I'll have enough, hopefully, to finish without needing another skein. I'm hoping. I think I'm going to be playing yarn chicken with the with this for the next little bit, I think. So anyway, I'm going to get off here. Thank you for just sitting with me and just allowing me to just be where it was comfortable tonight. My right sciatic nerve is just, it's hitting. It's a little bit jealous. It wasn't, let's get into the mix of it. So I needed to be where it was comfortable to sit. I thank you all for allowing me to do that. I'm going to get off here. I'm going to go have a shower. Thank you. I'm going to go have a shower, and then I'm going to go actually turn off the lights and go to bed. I am really tuckered tonight, and I'm going to do that. So I will see y'all tomorrow. I will go ahead and schedule it. We'll go ahead and get all the beans ready to get my gifts ready, and I'll probably have enough to start. I'm going to get beans for next month, too, to give to our women in our church. And then I'm going to try this weekend to get some things done and put up for the channel, so that when we're away, things like recaps and channel shoutouts and all that kind of stuff will be done. But I'll be busy also trying to get packed and ready to go for next week too as well. So we won't probably be doing much till I get back, but we'll try to go on. Even if we have to do it like this for a little bit, we will do it, right? So I'll see y'all later. Love you all. Have a blessed night or day wherever you're seeing this. Remember to keep, remember to be proud of being yourself. Everyone else is taken. Keep crocheting that connection. No crochet hook is required. And our computer is working. I just have to reinstall everything because it literally had to wipe everything out of it. So that may take a little bit, and it probably won't happen until after we get back. But next week I have to pack and do all the things. So, and Saturday we'll be doing Thanksgiving with Mama. So I don't think much is going to happen, but we'll get the beans ready. You guys can help me get the beans ready, and I've got to work on those little ornament things for the kitties at the place. So I'll get those things done and I'll put that short up. So thank you for having us covered, and we'll see you tomorrow night for getting the beans all ready to go. All right. Love y'all. Have a great night or day, and stay connected, everybody. It's so important. Love y'all. Bye-bye, everybody.